Hey, this is Terence James, and you are watching ESC Fan TV. I'm in the south of France. Sun, wonderful.
Good evening, everybody. ESC Fan TV here. Elliot, I'm back again doing this. It's been about a year since I've done this, so please help me. But as you can see, I'm not alone. I'm here with French national finalist, because I'm not saying the name because I can't speak French. It's Terence James.
Yeah, hello, how are you? That's a brilliant intro, by the way. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
More than a pleasure, more than a pleasure. So, obviously, you've just got back from a wild 6 weeks or so since your song got released. How is it finding going back to your normality, shall we call it?
It's actually really nice, because I spend most of my time in this room, which is it's actually my garage, but it's also my studio. So yeah, it's nice to be able to just sit and write some songs, which is, that's what my true passion is. So it's really nice to be here.
Brilliant. And so let's just go back, obviously, to Saturday. How was the day? How was the experience? Like, was it nervous? Was the energy like? What was it like on the Saturday leading up to your performance?
So I mean, over the 3 or 4 days that we were there doing the rehearsals and the getting ready for the timing and everything, because obviously it's live, so we had to know what we were doing. Everyone there knew what we were doing, but we didn't. So it was, I wouldn't say stressful, but it was a lot. We had to get it right, obviously. I really enjoyed it. I had a fantastic time from the start to the finish. Everyone did really well. I thought everyone had great performances. The staging was really good for all the songs. It went really well. Honestly, I know I didn't win, but I'm still really happy, and I'm coming away with a really positive. It's nice. I feel positive about it. Really good.
Brilliant. And obviously, your staging and there was blue light, there was fire, there was backing dancers in kilts, which I don't know how you convinced them. We'll get onto that. How much of it changed from the first rehearsals you did outside the studio to then getting into the studio, then to the live performance? How much of it changed along the way?
So to prepare for the final and the music video, actually, we did it over 3 days. So I went to Lyon, which is not too far from where I am. And we had 3 days of intensive, I've never danced before. I mean, you can kind of tell on the stage work that I only recently learned how to move in time with music. So we had 3 really intensive days, which was great, really, where I got to meet everyone, and I'd never met the choreographer before or the dancers. So it was, honestly, it was really good. So we had the first day where we were preparing for the staging, and then the second day was half staging, half music video. Then the third day we shot the music video, where we do the same choreography. And then it was kind of just me rehearsing at home to get ready for it. And then it was, right, let's meet in Paris. And then that was it. We were on stage. So we basically had 3 days outside the studio, and then maybe 2 days in the studio where we got to do it maybe 5 or 6 times. So yeah, we had enough time. But for someone who has never danced before, it was a lot of choreography. I'm really proud of myself and proud of the team that we went for it 100%. There's at no point did we go, let's just not do it. We went for it. I'm not sure I'd do it again. I'm not sure I'd dance again on stage. I'm not the most comfortable man moving. I look like a baby giraffe when I'm dancing because I'm 6'4". But no, I'm really proud of everyone, and I think it was brilliant. And I had a great time. And yeah, it was fantastic. The result wasn't the best, but I think Barbara deserved to win. It's a beautiful song. We'll see. Hopefully she brings the cup home now. We'll find out.
As someone who starts for 15 years, I strongly believe anyone can learn to dance over time. So I'm going to hold you to that. We'll get you to do it again.
I need to go on Strictly Come Dancing next.
Of course, why not? And so, quickly jumping on to Barbara, obviously the outside public didn't really know what the running order was until the night, and until the show was going to, and our team didn't. So how did it feel for you when you got told, right, you're song 6, and then Barbara Pavai is song 7, knowing that, she was the big favourite going into it? How did it feel knowing that Verse is such a contrasting song to yours, and also she was the one to watch.
Well, I think it was actually a really good position for her because it made her song stand out a lot more, and it also made mine stand out a lot more. So I think the order of everyone was really good. It was nicely paced. It wasn't just like 4 ballads in a row, then 4 dancey songs in a row. So I actually think it was really good. Like I said earlier, I mean, I didn't feel like it was a really nice. Everyone was really nice, and everyone was just loving the fact that we were all there, and it was nice to meet everyone and perform. There wasn't really not on my side anyway. I didn't really feel the competition side of it, because I mean everyone has their own song. It's all a different style. You can't say there's a better song or a worse song. So yeah, I think it's just France chose, and they have to live with their decision now. Part of me wants them to win, and part of me wants them to come dead last. But
I'm sure the UK has that dead last spot reserved. We don't even know what's going on yet, so
we usually do, don't we?
We'll see what happens. So then, now let's get back onto your stage. You said there was fire, there was a woman in a hoop, and I love the circus, so that was brilliant. Yeah. But you also had 4 backing dancers in kilts. Yeah. How did you convince 4 French people to wear a kilt on French national telly?
So we had an amazing choreographer called Hassan, and he was in Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas, and he was like the head dancer, and he's done, France has got like Britain's Got Talent. He's done like France has Got Talent, and he's done loads of TV shows. He's been a judge on dance shows. He's like an amazing choreographer. So he had this amazing team, and they were up for it. Absolutely. I mean, I love a good kilt. I mean, I put a kilt on. Any excuse I can get to wear a kilt, I put it on. I know I don't have the accent, but my blood is half Scottish, and the other half is whiskey. So I love a good kilt. It didn't take much convincing. Luckily, though, they put something on underneath the kilt this time, because normally we don't. But since they were twirling around, it's probably better that they had something on underneath, since they were on national television.
Modesty leggings, I think we called them in the end.
Yeah, but I think they did an absolutely brilliant job. I really, watching the performance back, I think we deserved to be in the top 7. Yeah, I think we were actually 8th, and then the jury gave it to LMK. But I think in the vote we were 8th. So. Okay. Hey ho, I'll take that. I'll take that as some form of I don't know, something.
That's interesting, because the voting figures have not been released at all to the public. Yeah. We don't know who placed where in that first round of voting. We only have the final 8 to use as a guide. So apparently Casanova was first in the first round, and then the jury put him at 20 points in the judging round. So there was no way he could win, and he was second in the second round. But who knows? I don't know. I might be making it up. Just the information I've gotten. It could be this is not fact. Please do not take it as such.
Do not take it as fact, please. I'm making it up. It's just what I've heard.
But obviously, we saw in the run-up to the national final, you and Casanova actually became quite good mates. Like, you're on each other's Instagrams a lot. You were supporting him when the final votes were coming in. So Absolutely. How was it, just like from a friendship point of view, seeing Casanova and his song do so well with the French public?
So me and Casanova share a manager, so I've known him for a while, and we get on really well. I think he's a brilliant guy. Well, he's an amazing guy, but I think he's a really good artist as well. And he does like in his style, I think he's the best at it, and I think he's going to be quite big in that style of music. And I wish him all the best, honestly. But yeah, I was 100% behind Casanova, 100%. Absolutely. Our manager spent like 400 quid on votes because he was voting for both of us. And then when I didn't get through, we both just started voting for Casanova. I spent like 100 quid on Casanova votes as well. It's an expensive evening.
Can only imagine. Can we see you and Casanova doing a collaboration if you've got the same manager? Will you venture into his sort of folksy sort of pop song that Tutti was? Do you see that something you would do alongside him?
I don't know. I mean, we write together, but for other people, because we have two very different styles. I mean, my album, when it does eventually come out, which is hopefully going to be this year or very early next year, is kind of, if you took Ed Sheeran and The Weeknd and like mixed them, that weird kind of urban-y baby is me, I guess you could say. And Casanova's very like Corsican folk, so it's kind of they don't really go together. But when we write, we do actually write some fun melodies here, like interesting ones that we would never have come up with on our own. So it's a lot of fun. But I don't know if we do a collaboration on a natural release, but never say never. Could happen. Why not?
So let's talk about your timeline, because you've had a pretty eventful 7 months, let's say. So you did The Voice in June, or wrapped around in June.
Yeah.
Then in December, you're announced for doing Eurovision, but obviously there was the audition beforehand, and then also you had to find out, and then embargoes. So at what point did you get approached with Eurovision? At what point did you film that audition? At what point did you know you were in the final 12? Because that's a very quick timeline in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so just after The Voice, I got approached by my now manager, Vito, who's an amazing guy. And he manages a few other artists that have done The Voice. Casanova did The Voice as well. He finished second or third, I think, a few years before me. So yeah, that was awesome. And then thanks to that my manager, I got signed to Sony Music, which was a dream of mine all the time, and Twin Music, which is a French record label. And I met with some amazing guys, so I'm really happy to be in the team that I'm in. And then, more or less, we were talking about it just after Christmas. Before Christmas, actually. No, it was before Christmas, where we got approached with the song. And they said, listen, we really want you to sing this song. Not really my style, but we thought this is an amazing opportunity. It would be really silly to say no. So we went for it 100%. We made the song a bit more kind of Scottish and a bit more me. And yeah, went for it absolutely 100%. But it was quite a quick turnaround. We found out just before Christmas, I think, that like somewhere beginning of December, that we were in the final 12. Because we went for the audition, and then like kind of 2 days later, they confirmed me. And then they confirmed Casanova like 3 days after that. So yeah, it was quite a quick turnaround. But honestly, it's been an amazing adventure. It's just a shame that we couldn't do all the auditions and all the rounds in like auditoriums or in, you know, in front of a live audience. Yeah, it would have been nice in front of a live audience, but the whole world is in the same situation, so we can't really, you know, we can't complain. All the health and safety things were respected, so you know, everyone was very careful and did, and you know.
And I was going to say, given health and safety, and the fact you were just in a studio for that audition, did you see any of the other artists competing? Did you know roughly who might have been in contention? Or was it all just secret?
No. So there was a studio audience of like. Oh, sorry. Do you mean for the audition?
The competitors. Do you know who you were potentially competing against? Sorry. So we met when it was 18 of us initially. I think 700 songs got sent in, and then 18 of us were selected. So we met them, but it was very it was like, where one person arrived, the other one was leaving, so it was kind of just crossing paths. And me and Casanova went at the same time because we were, you know, in kind of lockdown together at our manager's house anyway, so we went at the same time. But I knew everyone because there was a WhatsApp group, so I knew that everyone was competing as soon as the 12 were selected. Yeah, my manager took screenshots of everyone, making sure that he knew who everyone was. He sounds like he'd be brilliant on the Eurovision site. We're quickly there just getting all the names as quick as we can, you know, getting every bit of information we can. It's like, right, here we go.
Absolutely great, yeah.
And obviously, you said about, the world situation, not many, you know, are using an audience, like Norway can't, Sweden aren't, but you did have the, for lack of a better word, I guess, luxury of having a live studio audience and a jury panel there. So how was that, having a live audience to feed off?
It was nice because it's very... I mean, actually, it was nice because it is very difficult just performing in an empty room. But I wasn't really... Because I was so focused... like, my music isn't like the one we did. It isn't like Je t'emmènerai danser. Even though I had an incredible time, it's not like the style that I would go for myself if I was just writing a song. So I was so focused on not messing up the choreography that I didn't really pay attention to the audience, which I probably should have done. But I was kind of... you know, kind of looking around, focusing on the cameras, but I was really just trying to not mess up the choreography. So yeah, it was great. It was great being in the audience, watching the show, because everyone was having a great time standing up, dancing and everything. But yeah, it's better than performing in an empty room. It was only 45 people, I think, in the audience. So it wasn't a massive audience. There was more staff than audience. There was more like production team and everything.
And for those who wouldn't know and aren't performers, what is the difference between, so like performing to an empty auditorium and a live audience? Like, how is the energy different? How does it affect you as an artist? Like, what would you say is like the paramount difference that people need to know about how the artists are having to adapt to this world at the moment?
I mean, it's really tough. I don't know. I really like an audience. I much prefer a big audience than just before. I find it much more difficult performing in say, like, say if I go around someone's house and there's like 20 people there and someone's like, oh, do you want to sing, you know, can you sing as a song? That I find that much more nerve-wracking and much more difficult than getting on a stage in front of sort of 5,000-6,000 people. I don't know why. Maybe because it removes the kind of, it's less personal. So it's more like, I don't know. But being on a big stage, you do get that. You feel the audience, and you're like, oh, this is sick, yeah, and you go for it, and it builds you, and you get ups and downs, and it's that's part of it, isn't it? That's part of live. That's what I personally prefer, live performances, than being in the studio, I guess.
Okay. And you mentioned about obviously this album. What can you tell us about it? When you planning to have it released? What is the style you wanting to go for? As this is like your little baby, like what is your plans for this album?
So I've spent the last sort of 10 years writing for myself and for other artists, and I've saved all my favourite ones. What is the style going to be? God, because it's changed. Initially, it would have been like Ed Sheeran crossed with The Weeknd. That would have been the kind of initial goal, and it still is what the bulk of it's going to be. But obviously, because I'm signed in France, we have to do songs that are some of them will be either half French, half English. Some of them will be fully French, and then there will be English versions of all the songs as well. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't know what the album's going to look like, but I think it's going to be one of a kind, that's for sure. Because I don't know of many people that try, because we're going to do French and English versions of like every song. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I really can't wait. I can't wait to actually get in the studio and start writing it. And there's some incredible people that are going to be on the production side of things. Yeah, I really can't wait, honestly. I'm so excited.
Amazing. And obviously you mentioned about bilingual there. How difficult is it to write a song in English and then change it into a different language? Because we see all the time in Eurovision, songs get selected in their native language and then they change it, or they change elements into English or vice versa. How difficult is it to switch songs into a different language but keeping the same melody and time structure?
Yeah, so it's actually really tough in French. When you're going from like English to French, it's actually really tough because the French language is smaller for a start. There's not as many words to say the same thing. So fitting, and it's they're very particular, the French, about the way you say things. Like I get told off all the time for my spelling and the way I structure a sentence because I'm dyslexic, so I'm crap in English as well. But it is really tough. Luckily, I have French lyricists that kind of go, right, what's the song about? Okay, cool, and then they swap it, and then we kind of adjust it, because the French language is very poetic. So things come across sometimes too poetic, and sometimes when you write a song in English, and like if you do like a direct translation, it just wouldn't work. It just sounds a bit, it's not cool. You have to kind of structure the sentences differently to make it good. So it's really difficult, but luckily that's not what I do. I just write them in English and then tweak other people's work when they're in French.
That's brilliant. So obviously you said doing this was a massive experience and Eurovision would have been an amazing experience, and you said openly before you are a fan of the contest.
Yeah.
What got you into this contest? Because you said you moved to France when you were younger, so you didn't have like the BBC broadcasting and the words of Terry Wogan and now Graham Norton. So did you? Oh, did you? Yeah,
because we always had UK TV in France. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go for it.
But we actually did, because I went to British school, English-speaking school in France. So yeah, my life was more or less in English growing up. I did GCSEs and A-levels. But we had British TV. So no, we were definitely watching, all of it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. That's why I'm a huge fan. I think it's such a happy competition. Everyone's just happy and everyone loves it. And there's so much good energy. And after the year we've all spent in lockdown, and I mean, you guys are still in lockdown in the UK. I think if I could, I've said from the beginning, if I can help bring a little bit of joy to as many people as possible, I'll sleep well at night and I'll be a happy man. So yeah, that was the goal, really, to make some people happy, and I think we've done that, and I'm really proud of the team, and I'm so happy. Yeah, honestly, I've had a fantastic experience, and I would absolutely do it again. Yeah, we'll see what the future brings.
Brilliant. And I'm going to put you on the spot here because I'm evil like this, but artists claim they're a Eurovision fan, but what Eurovision songs stick out for you as a fan? Okay. What songs stick out for you in the history of the contest?
Sorry, someone's just at the door.
No, go for it. I'm joking. I was like, fine, I'll cut this bit then.
No, I'm joking. So my favourite Eurovision song is You Let Me Walk Alone by, God, the German guy. What's his name? Michael Schultz? No, it's not Schultz. something.
Close.
Yeah, that one. That is my
Michael Schulte.
Schulte. That is my favourite Eurovision song because I remember watching that year, and that song just gave me goosebumps. It literally made me cry. It just touched me in so many ways. It was an amazing song, and yeah, I think that's a beautiful song. Yeah. And then ABBA, obviously. All the ABBA. One, you can't beat a bit of ABBA.
And also, you said about seeing what the future holds and looking forward, and we've got to mention about your Twitter because the last few days you have been mentioning that the UK and representing them wouldn't be out of the realms of impossibility or something that you'd like to do. Care to expand?
I mean, yeah. The Twitter has been blowing up recently because I tweeted that. So yeah, after me getting knocked out, a few of like the UK Eurovision fans were saying, "Well, you need to come and represent the UK with a British song now." And I was like, is this a possibility? And then it just kept getting retweeted and retweeted and retweeted. But the BBC haven't approached me yet. I hope they do. That'd be fun. But yeah, I'd love to. Hopefully, just not finish dead last would be the goal for Britain. So yeah, I'm happy.
This is your official thing saying I am interested to represent the UK going forward.
BBC, call me. I'm interested. I'm absolutely interested. I've got some absolute banger songs as well. That would be amazing for the UK. I spent like a year writing Eurovision songs, just writing Eurovision songs for Russia, actually. And then all the artists that were going to represent Russia never got accepted, so none of the songs did anything. But I've got some massive Eurovision songs in English, just ready, just sat there, waiting, doing nothing. So yeah, we've got some bangers.
This would just be like a giant cabinet that's filled with just Eurovision songs, just file after file.
There's a lot. There's literally... I mean, there's so many, but like ones that I would be happy to sing, there's probably like 20 or 30 that are like ready to go. I don't know if they're any good, but I think they're amazing. BBC would agree.
That's brilliant. And obviously, like I said, you did The Voice just probably about 6 months ago, and obviously that was half live audience, half, digital audience because of what was going on in the world. How much did that prepare you for doing the Eurovision selection on Saturday?
I think it helped a lot because I was used to being in interviews. There was a lot of interviews for The Voice because it's huge in France. There's a lot of people that watch it. So yeah, it got me used to doing interviews. It got me used to being in front of a camera, which is something that I was never comfortable with beforehand. I'm that guy that locks himself in a room and writes songs and then sends them to other people. I'd rather, well, before The Voice anyway, I never had a dream of being a singer, and I'd kind of given up on that dream for a while. And then, yeah, the Voice called me and they said they want me to do the audition, and then here I am now in front of sitting talking to you, which is awesome. But yeah, I think it helped a lot, just being more comfortable on camera, just talking about yourself actually is something that you're not, I would never do it in everyday life unless someone asked me specifically, but yeah, absolutely, it gets you used to just answering questions like, oh, so what are you up to at the moment? And then you actually have to answer rather than go, oh, nothing, I'm all right. So, which is what I would normally do because I'm quite awkward. But no, yeah, I think it helped a lot with just getting ready, just being more natural. I'm trying to be.
Awesome. Well, I think that's everything I have got for you right now, Terence. A big thank you for speaking to me. Is there anything you want to say as a final message to everyone that has enjoyed your song, played it, streamed it, shared it, said you should represent the UK Eurovision? Yeah. What would you like to say to everyone who supported you through these last few weeks?
I would say thank you guys so much. It's been overwhelming, the amount of support that I've received from everyone. I've got so many messages on Instagram. Every time I keep refreshing the Instagram request bit, it just keeps going to 99 plus. And I've been answering for 3 days now. So I will answer everyone, but I will, if you've sent me a message and I haven't answered, I'm sorry, I will be answering very soon. But thank you so much for the support. It's been absolutely incredible. And yeah, watch this space. It's not over. There is no fat lady singing yet, so it's not over.
Well, we are glad.
Yeah, thank you
man.
so much, and thank you
Nice.
for taking the time to speak to me. Honestly, it's been awesome. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure, and so yeah, big thank you and a big congratulations for Saturday. I know the result didn't go as you hoped or as you planned, but a big well done for everyone here at ESC Fan TV as well. But obviously that is Terence James. Let us know what you think. Go share him some love. Where can they find you on social media as well, so they can continue to keep your Twitter and Instagram going up as well?
Thank you so much. So my Instagram is Terence I am. It's like Will I am, but just not quite as good. And my Twitter is Terence James off for official. So yeah, there we go. There's no blue tick yet. They've said no to me 3 times now, but they'll get a blue tick very soon.
Brilliant. Well, that is all for now, guys. And until next time, we will speak to you soon. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I've been Elliot. And this has been Terence. Thank you again, once again, Terence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.